if you spend any time at Midway, what you're showing to people isn't like one out of a million birds. I mean, most of the birds have plastic in them. So these images are real, and we see them all the time. Well, yeah, we'll just have a look and see if we can find some dead albatross chicks and look inside to see what kind of natural items and plastic items we might find inside. So let's see, here's a carcass over here. It might be a little bit older, but we can have a look. And around town and right next to the roads, we have somebody that picks up the carcasses each day, and it's just sort of to keep, you know, the fly population down around town. But away from town, we just let the beetles and flies and so forth break down the animals, and the nutrients go back into the system. So this carcass looks a little bit old, but we could have a look inside and see what we see. Oops, and I just pulled it out and the stomach came out of the bird. And this one has a fair amount of plastic. And it's not surprising that one of the first things we see 4 bottle caps right off the bat. And I mentioned to you folks earlier that about 56% of the pieces of plastic that we find in our study plots on the beach are composed of bottle caps. And so this kind of reinforces what we're finding on the beaches. And so here's another bottle cap coming out of there, packed with another bottle cap with a few natural items in there. These are squid beaks. That's usually the main prey item that the albatross adults feed their chicks. And some miscellaneous pieces of plastic. Another natural item. This is a pumice stone. So these would be volcanic rocks that are floating on the ocean, and you know, historically and all through time, albatross would eat these and feed them to their chicks. Another bottle cap. Another bottle cap. Some sort of miscellaneous plastic stick of sorts. And another bottle cap. This looks like the bottom to maybe a shampoo bottle or some plastic bottle that came off. Another piece of plastic. And based on some of the work that was done in the 1990s, what was found was that 98% of the albatross chicks at Midway have plastic in them. So basically everyone is fed plastic by the adult. This is just a portion of the plastic that was taken out of this bird.
What does it feel like for you to be a bird lover and a biologist, to stand over these birds and see this happening? What's the feeling you have?
You know, I'm a really optimistic person, really positive, but it definitely takes the wind out of your sails. I mean, you see this happening and you realize that there's plastic floating in the Pacific Ocean. Some people say that there's an area that's twice the size of Texas between Hawaii and the mainland. And so to think about that much plastic out there, even if we stop throwing plastic in the ocean today, it's going to be decades before I can go to an albatross chick at Midway and not see plastic. So that is pretty depressing, actually. But you know, we can't despair. We've got to stay positive. We've got to do something. We've got to let people know about this issue and influence people to make changes and clean up the planet for the health of our current generation and future generations. I mean, we're supposed to be, you know, caretakers of this planet, so we should step up to the plate and start doing our job.